quick note before this episode starts. Thank you for listening, by the way. I'd just like to say the audio for the first part of this is worse than it is at the end. It gets better. It really, really does. We tested a new audio setup. It will be addressed. Mainly sorry to Ted, who consistently sounds the worst. But you know what? It's all in the love of the game. It's all in the love of the game. That's what I gotta tell you. Enjoy this talkback, because I enjoyed it. Have a good one. Whee!
Well, hello, and welcome back into the Barmy Balladeers. We are in the middle of a break at the moment from our prologue. We are about to go into Arc 1, but we have a little conversation first between the four of us to talk about general questions. Does everybody want to say who they are? I'll start first. I'm Kit Oliver, and I play possibly Mortimer.
Great. Oh, me? No? Okay, good.
I'm looking directly at you.
Hello, it's me. I'm Elias Weaver, and I play Mabel May Mortimer.
And I'm Billy Nichols, and I play Gwerxas, the amnesiac automaton.
Lovely.
Beautiful.
And I'm Jimmy Fallon.
We've got A-list celebrities.
Oh,
No,
We got a prank
How do we get?
No
how do we
bits.
get him?
Hold on, sorry guys.
Albert.
No more bits today. Hi, I am Ted Collins. I play a couple of characters.
Just a couple.
Just a couple.
Yeah, one or
Just a
two.
couple.
But today I'm not in the DMing chair. I have been relegated to a pathetic little corner of the room. I've been usurped from my seat by the villain that is Kit Oliver, who so desired to take us through this little talk back today of our prologue.
Yeah.
I would like to add also, this is an incredibly new and incredibly scuffed setup. If there are any audio problems, I promise you, both myself and probably Ted have done our absolute best to fix them.
We are trying new things out, and if this goes terribly wrong, you can guarantee that we will be back to our originally scuffed audio production for exactly as it was in the prologue. But right now,
Maybe a little bit better.
we are trying out
let's
some new
hope so.
stuff. We're going to see what happens. It might go badly. It has been going badly for about 5 hours.
It has not been 5 hours.
No, it has.
It has.
If we count from when we picked everybody
Went to
up.
go and pick people up.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, but
If we're including the car mishap,
the car...
the getting lost,
Kit forgot their phone.
I forgot my phone.
You what?
Oh, you didn't know
No,
that.
I've got it now.
When did you forget your phone?
I mean, that was a real minor one. I don't know why Ted brought that up.
Okay,
I left
so...
the house, I forgot my phone, I ran back.
So, the rundown of what's happened today is I woke up this morning very chill and happy and ready to film some content for our hit TikTok account at the Barmy Balladeers.
How many followers?
Probably only like 3 because I haven't posted any TikToks yet. I was going to do a nice little day in the life. Come with me to film the talkback episode of the Barmy Balladeers podcast. And it was going swimmingly. And Kit and I drove to the university to pick up some equipment, and that was going very smoothly. And then I got back in the car and I turned the car on and it made a funny noise. And I went, that's not good. My car is a rust bucket and incredibly unreliable. So I immediately got out of the car, lay down on the ground to look underneath it and see what was wrong, sent an audio message to my dad of the noise of the car was making. And then I went, there's not a lot else I could do about this. So we went to go and pick up Ted. The road to Ted's house was closed from every direction. I pulled up in a random residential street somewhere, and Kit had to get out and go and walk and find Ted and bring him to the car.
Because somebody told me to go to the completely wrong
I
location.
said, yeah.
A community centre is not a chapel.
I said, look, in Basingstoke they are one and the same.
That's because Basingstoke is a shithole.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Controversial
Whoa.
opinions here on the podcast. We only hit you with the hardest hitting journalism.
I mean, I don't
Yeah.
know if it is controversial because I agree and have been saying this forever.
Thank you.
I felt like I should be offended.
Okay. But yeah, so I had a mini dance break in my car, and at which point Kit returned with Ted, and then we went to go and pick up Billy Nichols, which was probably the smoothest part of the day. I swung in, you were there, you got in the car, we left. It was wonderful.
Basically, Billy's just a fucking rock star and the glue of this group.
Yeah, I really wish I had taken a video of Billy approaching the car. It was magnificent. But then we got back and I rang a garage to be like, hey, can you fix my car? Because I have to go to London tomorrow by car. I'm going to see Hadestown.
Oh, baby.
Very specific for you. And if you have even a passing interest in West End musicals, you'll now know exactly where I will be tomorrow night. Except it won't be tomorrow night for you.
It will be
It will
a few
be
weeks ago.
like a couple weeks ago, which is wonderful. But
If
I rang
you
a
guys
garage.
didn't think this podcast was gay enough, it's time for theatre commentary.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. Me and the Lyric Theatre are having an ongoing love affair. Anyway, I rang a garage and then I took my car to the garage and then we came here to set up the mics. And then just as we had kind of got everything almost ready, I got a phone call to say that they'd fixed the car, and I walked back to the garage to go and get the car, and then I drove the car back here, and I'm now parked here, and then I came into this room, and everyone was like, it got worse while you were gone. And I was like, what the fuck? And then finally, we've settled. We're all in very different corners of this room, and we've begun. It's taken several hours.
You missed the part where our entire original room is now being used for its intended purpose as a study room
yeah.
by
Oh,
a
yeah,
completely different group of people, and we can't go in.
Yeah,
we've
we
been
have
this is
diligent
co-opted a
in there.
class for primary school students.
Yes, we have.
I'd like
Oh,
you
yeah.
I'd like you guys to know this is not a bit. What Elias said about us being in different corners of the room is completely true, to the point that I am faced away from everyone else because my voice
Mine's too
travels
loud.
into everyone else's mic channels.
It's wonderful. I love not
But
having
we
to look
have-
at his face.
Oh, but you kind of do have to. He's scowling at you right now.
He's got... Oh no, look at
I
him.
wasn't scowling, I'm
Oh.
staring off into the middle distance.
He's
Oh.
so sweet.
I'm sweet.
He's sweet.
When he's not a DM, he's very sweet.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
it's interesting you say that because...
You killed my dad.
Yeah, you guys don't particularly have the most positive opinion of my DMing.
What a segue,
Well,
guys.
yeah, I
This
was
is a
gonna
D&D
say-
Speaking
podcast.
of-
That brings me into the first question.
Dungeons and Dragons, baby.
We're so good at this.
How's everybody feeling after what you've been through? Your father just up in the sky. Maybe dead, maybe not. Probably not. Gwerxos,
Hello.
you've been sort of co-opted to become a thief.
Yeah, sorry,
Except
guys.
nobody knows, so I think you're off the hook.
Yeah, I reckon I'll be alright.
Yeah.
Old Gwerxos, he's not going to be in any legal trouble let out. Maybe
Um,
divine trouble.
Maybe divine.
Yeah,
We'll
you
see.
upset gods.
Oh dear. Ted just went, at that.
Oh, don't
Is
worry about
Gwerxos
that.
going to have a court case arc?
Oh my
Are
god.
we better call Gwerxos?
Yes, yes, please. Yes, please.
If
Please.
you guys screw up badly enough, there will be a courthouse arc.
I want to do
Yes.
some lawyering.
Please
Sibley?
don't screw up, because then that means I have to not only set
the
the
lawyer.
justice system of the world, I also have to find loopholes in it and
Oh.
presumably play a lawyer unless Sibley represents Gwerxos.
Gwerxos is having a prison arc as well.
Sibley's representing.
Sibley cannot represent
Sibley-
Gwerxos.
Sibley-
Either way, I'd
must.
have to play the prosecution, and I do not know enough about law to do that. But yeah, how are you guys feeling after the end of that little prologue of you guys as kids, which was something that we really wanted to do when we started this, because we were talking a lot about backstory in D&D, how it's usually included in page after page after page, and we wanted to see that in its kind of in its original form. We wanted to see these big formative events. So now that you guys have been formed, how are we feeling?
Pretty gay, I can't lie.
Gwerxos is Eve.
Gwerxos is
Oh,
Eve?
yeah.
Adam would-
No, kind of.
Oh, the apple. Yeah, well, the
Wait,
fruit.
does that make Aravin Adam? No, that makes him the snake, right?
No, that does not make
no,
Aravan
the
Adam.
snake- I'm pretty sure
Adam
the
and
snake is
Eve
the snake.
were in love.
No, but I'm saying, like,
don't
in
think they
terms of
were.
their roles,
No,
I
they
think the
probably
whole
weren't.
relationship
They
was a little
weren't,
bit
no.
problematic by modern standards.
I think
I
it
think
was
it was
compet.
Yeah, I was about to say it was
It
combat.
was
You think that
fully
you think that the
compact.
snake was the snake?
Oh no, to
No,
be fair, Aravan
no,
probably
because
was the snake.
no, because hear me out. The snake was not trying to get anybody to eat
Wait,
that
hang
fruit.
on. Was the snake God?
No,
No,
the snake
God
was
was
not a god.
God.
No, the snake was not a god, but was the snake God creation myth style because the snake was warding the fruit.
Look, Caramine was just a fucking bad bitch in the tunnels of the underground, okay?
Did we just get a
Who?
snake
Who?
name drop?
Caramine?
Caramine, yeah.
That's an interesting name.
Interesting. I love
Caramine the serpent.
Caramilk. Okay.
I was
Caramilk?
just thinking that.
I think we're hungry.
I'm
Oh,
hungry.
I've chosen
I'm
a
so
bad name. But
hungry.
yeah, the snake was called Caramine, but we never got into that.
Oh, that's a good question. Is there anything else we never got into that you,
Oh.
that you want to that is relevant to share now that we probably will never go back to?
I'd say there's definitely a few things that, like, just by nature of plot we did not get into. We didn't see anything about what was going on in the Memoria's head because of some kind of unfortunate weird roles like that.
Because I was too good.
Yeah, there were a few more things that we could have learned about the Memoria there, but it has remained in this kind of mysterious territory. Elias, I've spoken to you specifically about this. Kaya's grandfather, who in a very, very little scene Kaya mentions has memories of death. Whole little storyline written about that guy that we simply just did not have enough time to get to. But don't you worry, in the 15-year time jump, a lot happens, and we might well be going back to these times in flashbacks. So that will be an exciting element of Arc 1. We're playing with time a little bit in a fun way. I think flashbacks in D&D can be a very difficult thing to do, so I'm excited to see kind of how we pull them off and see where things go there. But yeah, we will be delving into the 15-year jump just in vignettes. But yeah, Shesh Pariah, Kaya's grandfather, that was a whole little storyline there. And Eadwulf O'Vela, we never met him. He was Aravin's kind of superior. He was the leader of the Ember Rangers. And he was a barbarian. So while Aravin was sort of a rogue ranger multi-class, to get specific about, meta game details from the show, Eadwulf was kind of a barbarian who we think Gwerxos might spend some time with over the time jump, kind of moving him away from that ranger territory and into those kind of barbarian things that were hinted at early on with him raging at Bandleby in his office. But yeah, I think those are kind of the main things that were missed that I'm currently willing to divulge. But there are some other little secrets. Yeah.
He's so sneaky.
He's
So
sneaky.
shady sounding.
So shady and sneaky.
Oh.
Mabel has met Shesh Pariah in a fun little
In a vignette.
vignette. Yeah, in the 15 years, Mabel goes to visit Shesh Pariah quite soon after the incident, which is what they refer to as the dispersal, or whatever the fuck it is in lore.
The dispersion in lore
dispersion.
is the description of magic suddenly becoming available to humans and not just the elven sorcerers.
Which kind of encompasses the incident.
It does. It's like it's the domino that follows on.
Yeah, so after that, Mabel, obviously, she got no memories
She got no memories.
She got no memories.
of Pariah.
of Kaya
Kaya Pariah.
Pariah, the girl that everyone tells her was like her best friend for 3 days.
Yeah.
So she goes to see...
Very childhood relationship, that is.
Oh,
3
yeah.
days and suddenly... If somebody in my life that I knew for 3 days just disappeared, I don't think I'd be too worried.
Mabel is 7,
I know, that's what I'm
and
saying.
she had no friends before Kaya Pariah.
Oh, how long did she live in? Did they live there?
What, at the base of the tree, or
At the base of the tree. But also, just Ember in general.
what, Mabel's family?
Yeah.
They've been there the whole time, right?
The whole time. And she had 0 friends.
They've been there since Mabel was born, right?
They've been there since Mabel was born.
So yeah, she was too busy having her own like little childhood adventures. She had quite an insular family unit.
That's fair. That's
She knew people, but she didn't like have like friends. She was kind of like Kaya, who had like no friends her age because none of the kids lived at the bottom of the tree.
Oh.
And then Kaya Pariah's gone, and Mabel's got no memories, so she goes to Shesh and is like, "Hey, who is this bitch?" And Shesh Pariah does some appropriately creepy things.
Which I'm sure we'll get into properly in some sort of flashback scene.
Oh yes, wonderful.
Someday.
Yes. I do, I want to ask, I think we should talk about reality shatters.
Oh, yes, I think we should talk about reality shatters.
What the fuck? Is one way to put it. I do want to point out, because I don't think this came up in the podcast, that it was not improvised. Reality shatters is a thing that was planned, but Elias here did improvise the what was it that you improvised? Oh yeah, he does that sometimes. Line, which like changed that completely.
Changed the whole
Changed
dynamic.
Everything.
Yeah, because I was convinced that you had made up reality shatters on the spot to fuck with me.
That's wild. That is a wild assumption.
Look at that man, though, and tell me that he wouldn't make things up on the spot to fuck with specifically me.
I have often made things up on the spot to fuck with you guys. Reality Shatters was a very, very intended narrative device that was written into the notes as early as, like, the first draft of the prologue.
Fuck you. So,
Wow.
me then saying, oh yeah, he just does that sometimes.
That was meant to be getting back at him, was it?
I get the urge to violence when I look at Ted Collins when he makes a DM decision that I disagree with on an emotional level.
What is it like to play a literal newborn?
Well, he's a lot more posh than I thought he was going to be. That voice just sort of kept
That just came out.
The most recent campaign that I've done, I play another kind of posh guy. So in that environment, I just went, okay, I'm going to do a little bit of a posh voice. And it only occurred to me afterwards that I was like, okay, that's probably because he speaks, I guess, Nimish in this scenario. Right, Ted? Nimish is the language that this has all been going on in?
Yes. Yeah.
So he speaks Nimish in sort of this received pronunciation because he's just programmed like it. So that's my explanation for that as to why a newborn is speaking, kind of like
RP.
this and all a bit, pompousy. Yeah, and I think that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy the dynamic of him not understanding things. By session 4, it was getting a little bit old.
Yeah.
So I tried to do that less because it was annoying me.
I
that he
mean,
just
I
didn't know
was
things.
still finding it delightful at that point.
Yeah, so was I.
I was
I'm
gonna
a
say,
big
you-
fan
I
of...
loved it.
You
work
say it's
sauce.
getting old. I say you did a very, very good job of balancing that narratively. Like, all of the things that Gwerxos took on that then kind of informed his decisions towards the end, I thought were very naturally done. That was, it was a delight doing those scenes opposite you, especially, as Aravin, and, hearing the way you navigated those things. I thought it was great, and I'll be excited to see where he is now that he's had a few more years of growing up under his belt, because he's a very, very absorbent character. He takes things on.
Yeah.
I think that's interesting.
I think he's going to be less posh after the 15 years. I think he is going to have
like
more of an accent.
me.
That
Oh my
isn't,
god,
like,
yeah.
posh. 'Cause
You've gone a bit buildery.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, he's sort of mixing with various sorts of people. He's going to different countries. He's going to be talking a bit more like I do in El Natural world.
And he'll finally figure out how to correctly sit in a chair.
Oh, he's got that down now.
Yeah.
He's 15, I
You
would
know
hope
what?
so.
He's 15. You know a 15-year-old who can't sit in a chair?
Hit us with the next one, MC Oliver.
The next question,
Never say
of
that
which
again.
I do have, and I'm not just making it up as I go along.
Oh my god.
I think Mabel.
Hello.
What exactly is Mabel's journey after such a traumatic incident in which her father has been imprisoned by the sun? or the tree. Where does she go after this?
Physically?
Physically, emotionally,
Spiritually,
if you like. If she's into that.
No, she's not into
She's
that.
not into that.
Well, she ambles for a bit, I fear.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, you just lost your dad. I mean,
Yeah.
you're not going to be full of life and happiness. It's a horrible time. You got a grieving mother
Who is also still sick.
who is also still sick and can now die,
Oh yeah, that as well.
which is kind of horrific. And then there are three. Finn, sorry, I forgot about definitely Mortimer.
Excuse me.
How could I? There are 3 new strangers in her house who pretty much appeared right when everything went wrong. So she's not having the greatest time. And that time in Ember is not great. It's not a great time for her. But then she goes out into the wide, wide world and fucks shit up,
Mm-hmm.
basically. She's, on the surface, quite well adjusted. Where we find her at the start of the main campaign, she's got a stable life. Is probably
she's
the best.
stable Mortimer.
She's stable, Mortimer. That's probably the best way to put it. She's stable
Yeah.
physically.
Except it's taken a fair bit to get there.
Oh yeah, 100%, and she's nowhere near done.
Oh.
I'm curious to know, Gwerxos, Sibley, and Finn, as you very accurately said, turn up right as things start getting really weird in your childhood. Do you think there's any kind of like resentment that Mabel holds towards them because of that kind of connection there?
Initially, probably a bit, yeah. I think it's most evident in conversations with Sibley.
Mm-hmm.
We
Oh,
have
yeah.
a thing that will be explored. There is tension there. With Gwerxos, I think it was a bit of a similar kind of thing that's happened to him and Ellie, where it's a bit overbearing Gwerxos, kind of.
Sorry, guys.
No. Because he's so dutiful.
Yeah.
And he's doing it so well.
He's really, really autistic. I'm sorry.
Oh,
He
no.
doesn't understand his social cues.
It's
He's
okay.
trying his best
It's okay, buddy.
in a world that wasn't made for him.
Mm-hmm. But I think definitely, funnily enough, definitely the person that Mabel has ended up having the best relationship with of the 3 of them is Finn.
Mm-hmm.
Because they spent some time together during the 15 years living together.
Yeah.
And
in Old Nell,
Yeah,
which
Old
is
Nell.
where Aravin was born.
Yeah. Lots of reconnecting with her roots, Mabel, making some new bonds, and
Some bad choices.
yeah. You said bad choices there. I was going to say doing some weed. And I feel like you knew that in your soul.
Yeah.
Is it just weed?
It's
Or like
most
magical weed?
it's mostly alcohol.
Okay. Magical alcohol.
There is
I haven't quite figured out the class system of drugs in Tanamai yet. I wasn't expecting to have to.
Hang on, no, because you also made Finn. You were in charge of Finn's storyline. You decided he was also going to do drugs.
I'm not in charge of the things that Finley Mortimer does. He speaks to me in the dead of night, and I just have to listen to that little Irish boy.
I feel like he's on more than just magical weed.
Well, magical weed is what Mabel asks him for.
Okay.
So magical weed is
yeah.
what Mabel gets.
They don't just call them magic mushrooms for nothing, you know. There's real magic in those bad boys.
There's
Real magic.
arcane potential in the real world is stored within mushrooms.
And you guys
And
are running into
mushrooms
exactly
only.
how druids are going to be run in the Tanamai campaign. They're all just stoners.
Yes. Perfect.
I would love that actually.
Guys, the Barmy Balladeers podcast does not endorse the use of illicit substances.
So, Kit Oliver,
Yeah.
let's take you out of the hosting seat.
Uh-oh.
What journey has Sibley been on, motherfucker?
Also weed. Funnily enough.
What is
I
wrong
think-
with this family?
I don't know. It developed on that one night where we were just like, I can't remember. We were having a meeting and we just decided they were all gonna do drugs.
Oh, the meeting
That's
where
where I decided, at least.
you decided you were going to do drugs. On
Not me, Sibley.
Okay,
I
you
think
did.
clear.
the energy is very different though. Sibley has got this kind of like
Oh, Sibley's
layabout energy.
Yeah, no,
like the Big
Sibley's got like
Lebowski.
the proper stoner.
Yeah.
They're just doing it to have fun.
Pot smoking
Mabel
freeloader.
Exactly, 100%.
Mabel smokes a spliff and is like knocked out for like 3 hours, and it's the best sleep of her life.
What?
She needs to relax.
Oh yeah, she's smoking something a lot stronger, I think.
She needs to relax so hard.
Crack?
Magic crack.
Smoking crack? I didn't know you could smoke crack. Kid,
Yeah. I
Hey,
think
give
so.
us anything.
Kid Oliver, I beg of you, tell me something about your character that isn't related to the drugs they've taken in the 15 years since we last saw them.
Okay, so that Sibley has been. I think Sibley's just, to be honest, happy to have a family that is not a cult, that is not kind of fucked up in some way. So Sibley has just been spending time with Elle and mostly just freeloading, to be honest. That is most of what they've been doing.
Such a sad and tragic little goat. you
I
are.
mean,
It's
look,
a crazy tone shift.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, they're retired now, okay? In their mind, they're retired.
oh
They
yeah,
spent their whole childhood leading a cult, being responsible for, like, healing people and, you know...
Healing is a strong
Oh,
word.
not actually healing.
Can we talk about that moment where you were like, I'm gonna Sibley's gonna start like chanting and
I-
lay their hands on Mabel, and then we were all like, you know what, we don't have any magic yet, and you were like, oh, you thought it was gonna work?
I really thought you guys were on board with seeing what I was doing there.
No.
Sibley doesn't know. Sibley thinks that they're a healer.
You said it with such confidence, and often you and Sibley are having the same thoughts.
It's that cult leader in me.
That I was like, does Kit think that they're gonna like bully Ted into giving them a magical ability right now?
Is Sibley a Texan megachurch pastor?
Yeah, basically. Yeah, they've got the whole healing hands
Oh my
thing.
god.
They actually do have healing hands now. Little
They
spoiler
do.
alert.
Now that you've got
Now
them
that
bardic
magic
abilities,
exists.
now that you've got a little spark of magic left in you by Aravin Mortimer.
Oh, have we actually like fully addressed what classes we're gonna be playing?
Oh, let's do that now.
No,
Get
you-
into that.
Yeah, Billy?
That was one of my questions.
I will be playing a barbarian,
Wahoo.
Wahoo.
level 1.
Yeah, Sibley's gonna be a bard.
And Mabel is going to be an artificer.
Very scuffed party.
Artificer. I
Yeah.
hardly know her.
Oh, way.
Way. W bit.
No,
Beautiful.
No.
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 Okay.
I reject the bit.
I got the quirk sauce in Tanamai.
What?
Huh?
What?
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 What bit is that?
Are you proposing a
Incomprehensible.
jingle?
No. What? No.
I do think
do you
we
want a
should-
spin-off
I
show?
do think we should have a jingle.
You guys don't know the good cushion alcohol bit? I got that good cushion alcohol.
No.
I got that quirk sauce in Tanamai.
What the fuck? You said
Oh.
good kush, and my mind immediately went to the good kush vine. The Dad, look, it's the good kush. This is the dollar store. How good can it be? It really makes me
Guys,
laugh.
would
Some
your
ancient
characters shop
references.
at the dollar store?
Oh, good
Mabel,
question.
yeah, brother, she gets 20% discounts when she enters any shop.
It's
That is
any
true.
shop. not
No,
even...
it's not.
No,
Are
I'm
you
pretty
sure it's
sure
any
it's
shop?
just.
And
I'm
it-
pretty sure
Is
it's
it
any
not
I think
shop.
it's like
engineering?
it's trades.
It might
right?
be trade specifically, but that's pretty
Yeah,
much
but-
any shop for
yeah.
Mabel.
In D&D
God.
though, is that not just every shop?
Yeah, is that not
What
just
other
every-
what other shops are there in D&D? Like a pet store you wouldn't get.
clothes?
Aldi.
Yeah, Aldi.
Yeah, can we please have Tanamai and Aldi?
No.
Oh,
Also, it's Tanamanian.
sorry,
Tales of
Tanamanian.
Tanamai, brought to you
hang
by
on.
Aldi.
Hang on.
We can't say that.
Can we? What was it? Can we please have Tanamanian Aldi?
Weaver's just clarifying that he does absolutely know
How to
the
pronounce?
phrasings of our own show.
Please, can we have Tanamanian Aldi?
No.
Not
Why
even Tesco?
not?
What do you mean, why not?
I reckon we
It's
could
an
get
Aldi.
Tesco.
Although there is some interesting stuff that we'll get into about this is so
Grocery.
fucking
Tanamanian
boring,
Waitrose.
about what the economy looks like around the world in Tanamai. We're going to get into the Phantom Menace territory. We're going to talk about trade routes. This is going to be such an interesting campaign.
Oh god, I don't want to play anymore. Is it too late to drop out?
Dropout TV?
Yes.
The Wii reference?
But yeah,
We're like
especially
hyperactive
in
squirrels.
the city that you guys are in post time jump, Udamus, a city that never appeared in the prologue and is one country away. This is not Ashling. This is not Provincial Nim. This is another nation of the world called Ramansara. And Udamas, it's a mix of the old world and the new. That in the old world they had a bit like a library economy going on, very anarchistic in the way that Provincial Nim is. But now things are changing. The invention of currency and money and all of this stuff and magic is massively affecting that location. So I'll be excited to see how your guys' characters kind of reckon with that old world of living in Nim, where there's kind of like no rules. It's all just communal and it's whatever you feel like doing, to them being in a city where they've got, judges and judicial systems and all this shit that's kind of more modern of a society, somewhat.
So there is going to be a trial.
There might be.
I'm hearing judges. He specifically went into nothing else, just the judges
It was on
and
my
the
mind. It was on my mind. But
judicial
He
there's
did.
Well, actually, to lead on to you, there is a university, isn't there? Do you want
There
to
is
talk a little bit
indeed
about
a
where Sibley's going to
university.
be?
Wait, hang on. Before we do that, we never found out what Gwerksos's journey is.
That's true, we didn't.
What's your journey?
What's Gwerksos's journey after?
He's going into employment.
Yes.
He's
Get
going-
this boy an
He's
apprenticeship.
Bro's
becoming
getting
working
a
class.
job.
He's becoming part of the proletariat, guys.
Hey, same. Fucking bourgeois twat over here.
Losers.
Higher education fuck.
Oh yeah.
We're recording this in a university.
Shut the fuck up.
So
Gwerksos, tell us a little bit about your journey.
Oh, Gwerksos's journey. Well, he's going into the workforce.
Yeah.
What were the 15 years like for Gwerksos?
I reckon, boring, I think, probably, because
Yeah.
the first week of his life was so eventful and so crazy that he probably just thinks that level of craziness and change is normal. And then all of a sudden after that, it just stops and life goes normal. Normal
Domestic,
in quotation
yeah.
marks, because everyone's discovering magic and the implications and stuff. So he's probably constantly trying to get back the feeling of familiarity that level of chaos brings. And I think that after he moves on from kind of his butler role with Elitha, moving out into the city, doing all the... he's gonna go into some crazy lines of work, and he's gonna work for some very different people. He's gonna do multiple jobs at the same time because, he's kind of an
That's
automaton.
life.
He can do that. Yeah, and I think he's gonna try and make his life interesting, possibly to his own detriment. Possibly. But yeah, no, I think by the time the 15 years is up, he's probably going to be at the point where he's accepted that level of craziness of his first week of life was probably abnormal and a little bit weird, and he's probably more gotten used to that fact. But I think there is always going to be a part of him that wants to go back to the crazy times and adventure and all that.
Yeah.
So I think that maybe once the campaign gets properly going, he's gonna feel right as rain. He's gonna be at home.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. And, the reunion of the family, because people are a little bit split over these 15 years. Everyone kind of goes off their own separate ways. And they're going to be kind of coming back together around the beginning of Arc 1. So there's going to be some reunions and some little dramas that haven't quite been resolved, which I'm looking forward to seeing.
We will be separate, but we will come back together. Whoa!
I got my eye on you.
Get another
We'll
take
see.
of that, Oliver.
We'll see what happens. That was
What?
the least intimidating thing I've ever said.
Square up. Yeah, you little pussy.
We'll see what happens.
Square up.
I hope the mic caught that. That was
They just tapped their fist at me.
No, I punched it. It was a
I'm
punch.
watching two
Who was
of
it?
the weakest-willed people I've ever seen threaten each other with physical violence.
Yeah, but you're watching two
whoa.
people who have martial arts backgrounds
Yeah,
threaten
I
each
was
other with
just
physical
about
violence.
to say.
Ted, you're
Kit does
the
not
only
have a
one here.
martial arts background. Kit was the security guard for a cult.
Yeah, which involved teaching martial arts.
No,
Wait,
it
you were the
involved reading
security
scrolls.
guard?
Yeah, I don't know why they made me the security
I thought
guard.
you were just in a cult.
No, we all gave each other roles.
Oh, by the way, guys, Sibley is very much based off of
No.
Kit's real life.
Here's the thing, it was not intentional, and also I
It
don't.
very rarely is.
It wasn't intentional, and also I never considered it a cult. Okay.
No, I think we had to break this to you in first year that you were in a
It
cult.
was all online. We never met in person
Why did they need a security guard?
because we were gonna meet in person when we reached the promised land.
Oh my god.
So yeah, if you guys thought that Sibley was the most kind of far-fetched character in this campaign, wait until you learn about the real life of Kid Oliver.
It's fucking wild.
I will say though, I'm not narcoleptic.
No, you're the opposite.
I'm insomniac. I just wanted a break, you know.
It's
I wanted to see what it was like on the other side.
This was kind of your dream for a character, one that
kind of.
sleeps
You
at
know,
random times.
people like to have their power fantasies when they play D&D.
Yeah.
I just, I wanted to sleep for once.
It's so sad.
I did have one question about Gwerksos. How does he feel towards Aravin now? Does he understand that Aravin kind of used him and screwed him over?
No.
No,
No,
he's
absolutely
completely like Aravin's my hero.
There is a big part of him that has an immense respect for Aravin and wants to do good by him. This will have a negative effect on Gwerksos' life. He would never consciously use someone the way that Aravin used him, but at the same time he can't acknowledge that he was used in that way.
Mm-hmm.
I think his immediate thought processes are just about Aravin was trying to do a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
He was trying to do a good thing for his family. He was trying to protect the people that he cared about. He was angry and he was calm at the same time. And he's going to really take that and use that to the best of his ability and become... He's not going to become Aravin. He's going to try, and he's probably going to fail because he's an automaton who doesn't understand social cues.
Well, I think the real question there is, do we want Aravin back?
What the fuck did you just say? I was busy being sad.
just
I was over here in my little
saying.
side of the room being like, oh,
Weeping.
Billy, this is so sad. I love it. And then you just
Absolutely
went,
weeping.
do we want Aravin back? It's my fucking dad. Yes.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
I don't give a shit what you say.
He was not the greatest guy.
He was the best guy around.
Kit?
Also, I'm just
And
saying.
the murders.
What
murder?
No, shut the fuck up. He stole magic to save his dying wife.
And daughter.
And
daughter.
me.
He used a newborn in order to do it. I'm not saying he's a bad guy. I'm just saying
He's a bad bitch.
he's a bad bitch. Well, hey, isn't that why Elifer fell for him?
Yes.
Yes. Wow.
Hey, Ted.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello.
Question. If Aravin does get freed, at whatever arc,
Uh-huh.
probably like 17, I don't
Oh,
know.
far down the line.
Yeah.
And also, I'm not going to fucking free him, so screw you guys.
No,
Well, but
we'll
we
get
will.
around that, right? If that ever happens,
You're going to get overruled.
will being touched by the god of preservation in such a powerful manner for such a long period of time, will that have any extended side effects? Or will he just come back exactly how he was?
Oh my god, can we do Come Back Wrong? I love Come Back Wrong.
Yeah, are we getting a bit of Pet Cemetery with it?
This is a very complicated question because it's one that
you haven't figured out yet.
No, it's one that involves a lot of spoilers for an event that I'm adamantly trying to get you fuckers not to do, because that bitch deserved to be frozen. Okay, I'm acting like the mother right now. I got the mind of the mother. Aravin is gone, right? He is erased from my psychology. The only perspective I have on this issue is that of the mother, and from the perspective of the mother, that guy deserved it.
Damn.
No, hang on. Can I get the perspective of Ted?
Huh?
Can I get the perspective of Ted Collins, my good friend who loves me dearly and doesn't want me to be in emotional distress?
Dude was just trying to save his family.
Thank you. I feel better now.
And also, I think that Prometheus type stories in myth are some of the most interesting, because we are always positioned to view figures like Prometheus or Loki, etc., as a kind of villain. But at the end of the day, the thing that they have stolen is what gave us as humans our sense of humanity. And I think that's very interesting. Aravin has stolen something that has leveled the playing field for the rest of the world. No longer is a monopoly on magic controlled by that of the elves. He has evened things out. For better or for worse, that's not on him. He has, created a catalyst. He, has given fire to man, essentially. And I think it's very interesting that in myth, these kind of, images of Prometheus-type characters are so often depicted as villains. They stole the thing they were not supposed to. But it's a villainy that always benefits us. And I think that's kind of what I was trying to tap into with this decision from Aravin, that whether you view that as like a sacrificial act of a father saving his family doesn't really matter, because it's about the aftermath. And that's all that the mother is focused on, right? She has completely separated herself from the emotional element. It's all about what comes afterwards. It is about the repercussions. And that's kind of the opinion I also have as Ted. Whereas because I kind of know where this story is going, I know the repercussions, and you guys know the emotion.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how I feel about Aravin. He's a complicated guy.
Such a non-answer.
That was a lot to say. I don't know, man.
I want to know, from the prologue and going into Arc 1, what are some mysteries and hanging questions that you personally want to get into, either as players or questions that your characters want answered? And I think that's kind of a good little ending to segue us into Arc 1. It's just, what are your guys' biggest kind of like what the fuck moments of the campaign?
Kaya Pariah.
Mm-hmm.
With zero hesitation. She is the forever unsolved mystery haunting Mabel. Yeah. It's Kaya Pariah. It's also obviously her dad, but Kaya Pariah is potentially something fixable.
Yeah.
She has the knowledge that she can do something about Kaya, whereas she is sensible enough to know that going up against the mother is a terrible idea, no matter how much she wants to. So yeah.
Kit, hanging questions, area of the world you want to explore, mysteries, that sort of thing.
I mean, I know one, but I don't know if I can say it right now.
What is this?
Choo choo.
What? What are you doing right now?
I'm foreshadowing. Except I'm not, because that will happen in the actual show. You know what I'm on about. Choo choo.
Kit has never been more
Why
excited.
are you making train sounds at me?
Kit has never been more excited than when they saw a picture of a train on the Morvith thing you made.
There's a train, guys. There's a train.
This goes back ancient. In the very, very first meeting about this campaign, I asked...
Whoa, you can't give too much away.
I don't think this is giving it away. I think this is crucial context. I asked everyone what they want to see in this campaign, and Kit looked at me with dead eyes and went, "Kidnapped by train." Want to be kidnapped by train?
Yeah, I mean...
And they keep operating under the impression that I'm going to do that.
Well, yeah.
No,
Yeah.
you're not getting kidnapped by a train.
Whoa. You asked us suggestions. I gave a suggestion.
You say this with the most utmost confidence that I am giving you
Choo,
train
choo.
kidnapping.
Here's the thing, buddy. You don't have control over that.
What? I'm the DM.
I think he kind of does because I mean,
no, I'm afraid.
No, but the concept of the train was that it would just randomly burst through walls at random
But I'm
junctures.
afraid-
Does he not control that?
If I foreshadow it enough, if I bring it up enough, he will
It's a
have.
rule of drama.
He will he will have. If it's a Chekhov's gun, he will have no choice but to fire it.
Oh, so like something's eating the crops, kind of. You're gonna be like, I can hear a train in the
hear a
distance.
train.
Guys,
Every
wouldn't it
now
be
and
crazy
then.
if
What's that
Worksource
choo-chooing?
became a millionaire? Wouldn't that be crazy? That's never gonna happen.
Wink,
Oh,
wink.
wink,
Wink,
nod,
wink.
nod.
God
Tap
damn it.
nose.
Ted,
Hello.
you're weak to the whims of your players. Just admit it.
Never. So you want a train that's never
I
going to
s-
happen?
Yeah, I didn't really hear your question, to be honest.
What do you want to explore?
I asked, like, what are elements of the world you want to explore? Hanging mysteries about this game, things that you want to see explored and followed up on. What are some things you'd like to see?
Sorry, Ted just had to turn fully around.
Billy just had to do some elaborate mime to get Ted to stop facing us because we keep picking him up on our mics again.
I keep forgetting. It's very
he's,
difficult.
He's sort of like Blair Witched in the corner over there. It's
Yes.
a bit creepy.
But yeah, tell me.
I already told you, train.
Okay, so
Oh my
it's
God.
just train.
My answer stands.
Something other than the train.
Sibley has so many mysteries to get into, and the only thing you give a shit about is this train that's not happening.
Why would I? Yeah, well, look, the mysteries that Sibley has to get into are the mysteries that we're gonna do. I have to fight for this train. I have
Kit
to.
is obsessed with the concept of this train.
You see, we're
Right,
just
but
vibing.
what about Billy? What are some curiosities that you have?
Turn your ass back around.
I'm turning.
You are picking up just as much as me, almost.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
No, he's not. I
I'm
can
turned.
see your thing.
I'm
It's
turned.
for the bit.
Oh, okay.
Damn, we fucked up the bit.
Shit, we
Billy.
fucked up the
You
bit.
fucked up the bit. What am I gonna do now? Work sauce. Yeah, work sauce.
What are some mysteries of the world and curiosities that you have?
What else do I hope? I hope that Worksauce gets some answers about who he is. Like what? Well, not necessarily who he is. He knows who he is, but why he is. Why does he exist?
Why
did he fall from the sky? Why did he have the magical feather that belonged to the widow?
Why does he have all of the knowledge stored in his brain? And
He
why
does-
can't he remember it?
No, that's not. That's you.
What?
No,
What?
no.
Yeah,
no.
that's you.
Worksauce
me?
Worksauce doesn't have all of the knowledge in his brain and can't remember.
Oh,
he just
that's
doesn't
so
have the
true.
knowledge.
That is, yeah.
Sibley has
it
the
all.
knowledge.
Well, I don't think Sibley does.
Sibley
have the
knows
knowledge, really.
everything.
Oh
They
dear.
just can't remember it.
No, I'm excited to find out more about Sibley's cult that they came from. Find out more about the relationship between Mar Shannon.
I
as
was
well.
about to say I'm excited to meet Marshall.
I'm excited to meet Mar Shannon and maybe some another sister.
Oh my god,
Alice's
yes.
sister.
What
There is another sister.
There is
There's
a
a
third
third
sister.
sister. There's
What's her name? She's got a double barrel name.
yeah, Clemency Jane.
Clemency
That's the
Jane.
one.
She is
I want to
the
know about her.
yeah. She's the youngest Mortimer sister.
She just like, I don't know if we can say this, but she's just like living off somewhere completely different, right?
yeah.
Completely cut off from the Mortimer.
Like even Ellie has very very minimal contact with her.
Hmm.
I'm looking forward to it. We may well be digging into it, but for now, as we go into this next arc, we have a wonderful storyline lined up of magic and mystery and rebellion and artificing and tinkering and all of these delightful little things, and we are very, very excited to have you. And when do we think that's gonna... When's that coming out?
Wait, hang on. Can we just talk about artificing and tinkering?
Yeah,
one
same
after the other.
thing.
That was brilliant.
That
Thank
was
you.
not my question, but when is it coming out?
Yeah.
Like middle to late March.
I'd say like as of this releasing,
middle March
in sort of a month's time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
If all goes well, which how it's been today.
I don't think all's going
We'll
to
One
see.
day we'll be more professional and
One
we'll have
day.
a formal.
Hey, you know
Date.
what? It was not. It was just fate. Fate was messing with us today, as it often does.
Yeah, I mean, we had a mishap entirely unrelated to actual podcasting.
Yeah, and you know that it just happens.
Yeah.
It just happens. But unless
And when that happens, reality shatters.
Oh, shit.
is that the end?
Hey, you made it to the end of the video. Congratulations. We hope that you enjoyed thoroughly. We had an absolute blast making this one, even if it was a very messy journey to get there. As you've made it all the way to the end, we are very, very excited to announce to you, specifically you, just you, that we will be releasing the next episode of Tales of Tanamai on the 22nd of March everywhere you listen to podcasts. So keep an eye on the Patreon, the Instagram, anything that you fancy keeping an eye on. And we'll have lots more exciting updates to come along the way.